Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib Tun Abdul Razak, Prime Minister of Malaysia, and His Excellency Petro Poroshenko, President of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the joint press conference between the Honorable Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib Tun Abdul Razak and His Excellency Petro Poroshenko on the event of the President's official visit to Malaysia. Kindly be advised that there will be no question and answer session for today's event. Without further ado, I now have the honor to invite the Honorable Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib Tun Abdul Razak to deliver his statement.
We'll just give a couple of minutes for the ministers to come in. Are they on their way here? Okay. All right. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Very good evening. First of all, on behalf of the Malaysian government, I'd like to very warmly welcome President Petro Poroshenko, President of Ukraine, on his first official visit to Malaysia. This is indeed very auspicious and significant because it marks the first time a Ukrainian president has visited Malaysia, and I am very confident that as a result of President Poroshenko's visit, the profile of Malaysia and Ukraine will be very much enhanced, and that the peoples of Malaysia and Ukraine, especially the business community, will take note of opportunities in both countries. Both President Poroshenko and I agree that there are significant opportunities in both countries. I congratulated President Poroshenko for his reforms, significant reforms that are taking place, making Ukraine much more attractive for foreign investment, foreign investors to invest in Ukraine. And also, he has strengthened a lot of the institutions in Ukraine. In today's meeting, we took note that the amount of bilateral trade between our two countries can be increased to a much higher level, bearing in mind the potential and the size of our two economies. We also discuss possibilities of Malaysian companies taking part in this new wave of privatization that President Poroshenko has sought to do for his country. We agree that there are possibilities for Malaysian companies to take part in airport management, highway construction and highway toll management, power generation, and also public housing. As a result of his enthusiasm for Malaysian companies to participate, we agree that the Joint Trade Commission should meet as soon as possible to work out the possibilities to allow Malaysian companies to participate in their privatization projects in Ukraine. We also discuss possibilities in terms of Malaysian companies taking part in long-term projects such as healthcare. Also, tourism is a big possibility because Ukrainians know too little about Malaysia, but I'm sure after this visit, awareness about Malaysia will be much higher in Ukraine, and we hope to receive more tourists from Ukraine. We also talked about education, prospects of increasing Malaysian students in Ukraine. At one time, we had a number of students, but we believe the President has strengthened the capacity of the institutions in Ukraine, so it's timely for us to look in terms of mutual recognition. On ways to increase visitors, we agree that we should begin discussion on visa on arrival so that we will facilitate more visitors from Malaysia to Ukraine and vice versa. We also talked about cooperation at a multilateral level, and we are working very closely at the UN Security Council level. We are on the same page on many issues, and that cooperation will continue in the future. With respect to the MH17 issue, we are committed to do whatever we can, especially for the sake of the families who lost their loved ones in that very tragic incident. We are also committed to find out the truth and to make sure that justice is done and seen to be done. And on this basis, we are waiting for the criminal investigation report that is expected to be tabled towards the end of this year. After the criminal report has been published, the countries concerned, the 5 countries, will meet again, and we will agree on the next course of action, in what form and manner in which we can ensure that justice is served and the perpetrators of that incident of shooting down a civilian aircraft, MH17, we hope that justice will be seen to be done to those who are responsible for that incident. So once again, I'd like to thank President Poroshenko for his visit. It was a very fruitful and productive meeting, and I'm confident that this will usher a new era of cooperation between our 2 countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Sri, for your statement. I now have the honor to invite His Excellency President Petro Poroshenko to deliver his statement.
Dear Prime Minister, dear members of Malaysian side during this negotiation, dear members of Ukrainian delegation, distinguished audience, first of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak for the invitation to visit Malaysia. Thank you for the warm welcome and hospitality the Ukrainian delegation enjoying in your beautiful country. This is extremely important that this is the first visit of the head of Ukrainian state in the history of our bilateral relation. And I'm honored for that fact. And today we open absolutely new era in our bilateral relation, as mentioned, dear Mr. Prime Minister. I am greatly impressed by the high economic growth of Malaysia, of your country, and visiting Petronas Towers and Putrajaya, I see the symbols of Malaysia's rapid progress and scope of ambitious goals set by very hard-working people. We consider Malaysia as one of our most important partners in the Asia-Pacific region. And Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak and I have had a substantial and constructive negotiation on a wide range of issues, bilateral agenda, as well as the regional and international security. I am pleased to say that we completely agreed on the necessity of the maintaining an active, high-level dialogue between our countries. I expressed my sincere gratitude to the Prime Minister for the consistent support, the consistent support of the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence of my country. Malaysia voted for the resolution of the General Assembly in the year 2014 against the illegal annexation of the Crimea and aggression against my country. We confirm our mutual interest in expanding the whole spectrum of the bilateral relation, boosting the trade and economic relation between our country was one of the key points of our agenda. Ukraine has a lot to offer to Malaysia, and it ranges from the joint participation in the space program we discussed today to the supply of Antonov transport aircraft for their defense industry products. And we can also provide Malaysia with the food products, pharmaceutical supply, which were presented by Ukrainian ministers and business circle. Today, Ukrainians Malaysian Business Forum has confirmed that the business circle of our two countries has a great interest in developing mutual beneficial partnership, and we discuss absolutely practical direction and platform for developing this interest in the both countries. We think that the agreement on avoidance, the double taxation signed today, will contribute to this business opportunity, and surely it will help to revive our business contact and encourage the investors. I will also confirm what Mr. Prime Minister said about our point of our mutual interest, the development in the management Ukrainian airport, sharing the experience in the management toll road. We think that the experience in the road construction, public housing construction, and different other spheres would be extremely interesting. And we would be welcome, so investor from Malaysia would be most welcome in the energy sector, power station privatization, logistics, port, and many different other directions, which is very promising for the investors from Malaysia. At the talks, we agreed to need to speed up launching of the joint Ukrainian Trade Commission. We expect the first meeting should happen. We have in material next year, but we agreed with Mr. Prime Minister that it should happen this year, and I think this is demonstrating the completely changes in approach of our mutual beneficial cooperation between our countries. Prime Minister and I have also discussed people-to-people contact. Particularly, we consider the possibility to resume educating Malaysian students in Ukrainian university. We have also talked about the promising direction, very high potential in promoting the tourism to Malaysia in Ukraine, as Malaysia is gaining popularity as a tourist destination among Ukrainians. Of significant importance of us today is signing the agreement between Ukraine and Malaysia on extradition and mutual legal assistance in criminal matters. They will enable us to protect the interests of our citizens much more efficiently. Particular attention was given to further intensification of cooperation in the framework of international organization. And I am glad to know that the Ukrainian position on the key issue of global agenda considered with that of our Malaysian partners. And we demonstrating an effective cooperation in the international organization. And symbolically, our meeting taking place at the time when Malaysia is assuming the presidency in UN Security Council. And I congratulated Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak on these events. We discussed the ways of coordinating our country's position as non-permanent member of the Security Council, and I can confirm that we effectively doing that during that time. We confirm our common stance on need to complete investigation of the flight MH17. This tragedy, and I am absolutely sure that we engaged all the possible means to bring perpetrators to the justice. This is our way of paying tribute to the innocent victim as well as our duty to the victim's family. And I want to use this opportunity to pay my sincere condolences to all the families which suffered a lot from this disastrous terroristic attack against civilian plane of MH17. We also exchange views on the integration process of the Southeast Asia, and I expressed Ukraine's interest in strengthening cooperation with such a powerful organization as ASEAN, and I want to thank the Prime Minister for the support you pay and demonstrate to this Ukrainian interest. Dear friends, regardless of the geographical distance, our countries share 25 years of history of mutual beneficial relation and fruitful and friendly cooperation between Malaysia and Ukraine. And I'm absolutely convinced that today we open a new chapter in the very special partnership between Ukraine and between Malaysia. On behalf of Ukrainian delegation and my own, I would like to thank the Malaysian side for the very warm hospitality which was demonstrated to our delegation and for the very fruitful negotiation, dear Mr. Prime Minister. I have the pleasure to invite you, dear Mr. Prime Minister, to visit Ukraine in the most convenient time, and we have a very big list of agenda what to do before your visit. I'm happy to declare that, and I'm absolutely sure that, again, today we have absolutely new page, a new era of Ukrainian-Malaysian relation. Thank you very much indeed for your attention, and terima kasih banyak.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement. Now we would like to invite Datuk Sri and His Excellency President Poroshenko to the forefront of the podium for a photo opportunity. That concludes the joint press conference.